I'm going and doing the 24, man. All right, so I'm going to be doing a stream 24, man, on Ether. It seems like there's no congested worlds on Ether anymore, so traveling to Ether shouldn't be a problem. I need to do the quests. I am watching the cutscenes. I'll probably do some discussion before then, and we'll probably do a couple of runs. So it's still going to be a little bit before I actually get to it, but let's get into it. Absolutely. Yeah, I don't think there were any barred weapons that were Final Fantasy XI glams. I'll just use the new one. Listen, I've got my Final Fantasy XI glam down for the most part, and I've got the Sphene weapon to, I guess, tack on to that. Because I don't have, like, a Shantoto staff, or, like, I can't, on Bard, I can't. I could use the Yoichi bow, which is in Final Fantasy XI, but, oh, wait, I just realized, do I have the replica for that? Oh, yeah, I don't know that I even want to mess with that. I'd have to go to the glam dresser and everything. That's true. Yeah, the Yoichi bow would actually be a kind of okay option to it. But I think this is good enough. Hello, Mr. Hoobigu Messenger. The Hoobigu Messenger is looking for a well-traveled adventurer. That's me! Yeah, the weapon's 725. Aren't you Mr.? That certainly saves me a lot of trouble. I was asked to find you on behalf of Milal Jah. Curious happenings abound in Mamuk as of late, and we thought one with otherworldly experience may be able to help us make sense of things. If you have the time and inclination to aid us, she awaits you in Mamuk. You'll find her west of the plaza in the large building near the two-headed statue. I also, Hoobigu, will find her via quest markers. That will be the other way I will find her. I got my Ronique yesterday. I should ride that around. Hello, Milal Jah. Thank you for coming. Truth be told, I was unsure if it was right to call on you, but the troubles we now face cannot be overcome with our strength alone. It all began when we found a fallen traveler in the sky-deep cenote. For our mercy, his wounds were not life-threatening. His kind is not a common sight in these lands, tall and slender of build, with pointed ears. He has yet to awaken, but speaks in his sleep of strange things that make little sense to us. It was our hope that you might recognize something in his ramblings, or perhaps even jog his memory once he regains consciousness. Might you be willing to speak to him? If this isn't an original character, then I think I know who it is. The traveler stirs. Very good. If you'd be so kind as to bring him here. It's also very fitting, by the way, that that Mamuk, it's the most appropriate place for the 11 raids to begin. Mammal Jar from Final Fantasy XI. So it's actually the single most appropriate location that they could have picked. That armor set, man. Of course they would have given him that. They would have given him that armor set. We saw it in the trailer, to be fair, but still. We are glad to see you awake and in good health besides. May I ask your name, traveler? My name? I'm sorry. I can't remember. Yeah, that's the Koenig armor step. A very popular set from 11. Seems the fall has affected his memory. In any case, his presence here is a complete mystery to us. His armor is the only hint as to whence he came. Does anything about him strike you as out of the ordinary? Not much different I've seen from any other Elezen I've met, or would that be Eldite? What? Elezen? Eldite? No, he's an Elvan. Ah! Ah! I'm an Elvan. An Elvan adventurer. Your mammal jaw. Could it be I've come to Mammoth? Of course, he recognized again. They picked the right spot for this. Oh. Wait, if I'm in Mammoth, then I must have been taken prisoner. To be so readily believe us enemies. Perhaps he comes from a land unfamiliar with our customs across the salt. Maybe he comes from Alexandria. I know that's not where he comes from. He comes from Vanadil. Now he's going to say that. Vanadil. We've no way to know for certain. In which case... This is Prish. Must gather our strongest fighters at once. What's happened? Galul Jaja's shade has returned. It's been sighted near Gokdrak descent. Bakul Jaja has engaged the apparition, but I fear the worst. The vow resolves companions from the feet of the Brotherhood. I suspect you would understand the graveness of the situation better than most. In recent days, the late Dawn Servant Shade has been seen wandering the woods of Yaktel. Reason to believe it was invoked in like the manner of the one used in the feat. Only a privileged few of the Bunawa should be privy to the knowledge required to perform the rite. The culprit would be found in time, but we've made a more pressing matter at hand now. There's a young girl with her. Bakul Jaja requires reinforcements. I wonder if it's might be Galul Jaja. Galul Jaja from Vanadil. Actually, he hates the people, but like he's actually pretty well spoken and everything. Very similar to this Galul Jaja. The Dawn Servant Shade. I fear he may not hold out until the guard assembles. I'm loath to ask such a favor, but would you aid Bakul Jaja in this battle? I'm in your debt. Gokdrak descent is the west of here. Please go and help my son. He knows who Galul Jaja is. Galul Jaja. You'll understand in time. As Prish is going to say in the raid, given the trailer, now we're having a party. Having a potty? Going potty? Don't worry, I'm just going to flap my way over. Yeah, once I'm done with the story quests, I'll make the Alliance raid. And then I'll finish the quest, and I kind of want to run one extra. At least one. I've got about 3 hours. So, should be fine. I'm going to be nervous not going healer. I almost always go healer for these. Because... trust issues. I'm not going to, though. Yeah, we did a couple of Fiend clears. There's a strat named after me. Ivy, chill. Cat. Cat. Okato. And now she's comfortable. Hi, Ivy. What up, Galul Jaja? Pathetic. And you dare call yourselves blessed siblings. Not bad. You might actually prove a challenge. If you've come to help, best stay on your guard. He's not alone. Hello, Presh. What's this? Another monster in need of slaying? Don't worry, I'll send them packing. Here I go! Nullifying dropkick! Oh, no, you don't. I can't explain why, but something told me I had to be here. Not bad! Not bad at all. But I'll take more than a couple of Taurus to stop me. Taurus? Are you daft, girl? What, do you think we're in the Fomiuna aqueducts? You can speak? Shame you don't seem to have any manners. The name's Prish. You do well to remember it. Prish. Haha! Looks like I win. Oh. She's all messed up in the head. One Taurus down, one to go. I hope you're ready. Oh, hey. Those are regularly used as a teleport. Well, they're used for a number of things. At ease, Prish. We've seen to our task. Come. Whatever you say, Olmi. Wow, she's really been messed up in the head. She thinks that's Olmi. Yeah, she's been tricked. Olmia, what is she talking about? Yeah, so those are used for a lot of things in Final Fantasy XI, but primarily, at least for Chains of Promethea, these are used to travel to the Chains of Promethea areas. Like I said, it's one of the first things they're used for, but they're used for a ton of things nowadays. Wait, please don't go. They're seen a lot to effectively teleport the players in the Chains of Promethea areas. They're used to get there, they're used within them, they're used for all over. I'm guessing word of the Dawn Servant Shade is what brought you here. I don't know what that girl has to do with all this, but clearly she's aligned with whoever summoned them. The way remains open, though there's no telling where it leads. Even so, they cannot be allowed to return. We've a duty to protect this forest. Now let's see it torn apart by a two-head imposter. Let's hurry after them, brother. Watch over that one, won't you? Prish, what's happened to you? In we go! Listen, Bakul Jaja is persistent. Not always smart, but persistent. Everything's still hazy, but I recall fighting alongside that girl. We were comrades in arms, I think. But something was clearly wrong with her. She's only mistook me for a monster, but she called her two-headed companion Olmia. The Olmia I know is an Elvan woman, a far cry from the reptilian fiend we encountered. Something dark has taken hold of her, clouded her mind. I have to go and... I'll go after Presh. I didn't even know he was going to do that. I just assumed that's what he would do. You would put yourself in harm's way for my sake. Thank you. Stare. He's like, nice optical hat, bruh. I recognize that look. It's because it's your gear. You recognize my optical hat, huh? The eyes of a man who's seen their fair share of battle. Despite what Priscia's done, she was a dear friend to me. I'm fairly certain. Have care, friend. There's no telling what lies beyond that portal. Well, if I had to guess, it's Jeuno, the first walk, Prish, the Sanctuary of Zeta / Boyata Tree, Fafnir, Ruan Gardens, Archangels, Castles of All's Throne Room, and the Shadow Lord. So, I do know what's beyond it. All right, so this is on Ether. This is for the full Alliance raid. Password is 1227. We'll need 3 tanks, 6 healers, and 14 DPS. Bow. So there is telling what's beyond the portal. Incorrect. It's first come, first serve, but we need all 24. What do we have thus far? All right, so mostly my party's full. Looks like we need 2 tanks. We need 1 tank. We still need 1 tank. We have a bunch of DPS who just joined. Looks like we still need 2 healers in Alliance C and a healer in Alliance B as well. Still need a handful of bodies on Ether. Yeah, Ether should be no problem to travel to, but it's first come, first serve. We also... There's a bunch of DPS joining. Of course. Another reason why I normally play healer is because then you never need to worry about not having a healer. We literally need 3 healers. We need 2 healers. Ah. Ivy. Hey. Ivy, stop. This is why I normally play healer for Alliance raids. Ivy, you have until 2 more healers join this 24-man. 1 more healer joins this 24-man. One more. We need 1 more healer, and then we're good to go. All right, quick ready check, and then I'm queuing us in. The average item level is 695. If we're gonna hold back, we'll hold back in the second one. I have generally enough people die on a first clear that you don't have to hold back to see everything. Into Jeuno we go. Because after I finish doing all the quests, I would like to do another one. Ready. Oh. This theme is from, well, it's actually used in some cutscenes in the game, but it's primarily known for its use in the Dynamis zones, which there are Dynamis type enemies here. We saw in the preview that the goblin statues, which are Dynamis mobs, are here. Yeah, so these statues usually spawn more enemies. I assume they'll do so here after they're pulled. Yeah, goblin replicas. I assume maybe after they lose some health. That's generally what they're known for. I guess they also don't have to do that here. And then they usually have 1 pathfinder. Yeah. They don't know. Okay, so funny thing, that jump attack is not usually used by the smaller replicas, but there's boss versions of the replicas in Dynamis that do use a jump attack, but it's only, they just jump in place. And it's pretty much murder to anyone who gets hit by it. Okay.
Careful. That girl is stronger than she looks.
Hi, Prish. Everyone here? Everyone good? Big arena. She got big fists.
How about we start with a big fat knuckle sandwich?
Hey, that's the line from the trailer. Vanishka's not a knuckle sandwich. I mean, I guess she autoed the first guy, but you know.
Here we go.
That's not a knuckle sandwich at all.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Two. So that means she's hitting twice, I presume. She charged twice, yeah, so she hits twice. So each time her fist charges, she's gonna charge up one of those circles. They were also color-coded. Well, I guess they're not color-coded. They're 3 different colors. 1, 2, 3. Now it's, yeah, so when she goes, wait for it, all the way out, yeah. Wait for it. I like that. All right, that's just a tank split. Nullifying dropkick is one of her most popular moves. Banish Storm. All right, I'm gonna assume, so there's a, oh, well, how big are these? Can I just stand here? The answer was yes, I could have just stood there. Going to the corner is fine too. But just standing next to one is perfectly fine, as long as you're sure it's not crossing the paths.
Not bad at all. Oh, we're just getting started.
All right, small arena. I just noticed the outsides. Oh. 1, 2. All right, so it's 2. You need to get knocked back the second distance. The knockback is determined by the number of times she says, wait for it. Yeah. Oh, a lot of people on the spikes. Whoa, nice animation. Was that an animation of your butt? Was that you being like, my butt, it hurts? I'm gonna stop and just watch for a bit. Yeah, when you land on the spikes, it does that animation. Okay, what is this? I assume those are gonna be, oh, okay. And then those two are gonna explode. And then those two are gonna, and then those are all gonna explode. And then those are all gonna explode. They clench them cheeks. I saw some people go, woo!
You ready for this?
Thorns again. So this might be 3. 1, 2. Wait for it! Wait for it, wait for it. I like that she says the names of all the abilities.
Man, is that all? And I was just working up an
Yeah, I'm just gonna stop hitting her. I actually kind of want to see all this. Oh, this is gonna be the repeated slam from the trailer.
Take this and that and one of these.
She's having a fun time. Yeah, I'm gonna stop DPS. I actually do want to see as many of her attacks as I possibly can. Banish Storm. This is when she gets serious? I mean, just stand here. Oh! Wait for it. Wait for it. Oh, wow. All right, well, I just picked the perfect spot. Yeah, you have plenty of time for that.
You can't stop the flood of mortal existence.
Yeah, if anyone wants to slow down and see more, feel free, because that's what I'm doing. I just noticed we had a disconnect, too. Unfortunate. I assume there's not that much more to see. First boss and all. Ah, it's starting from the outside. Oh, the thorns. Wait for it. It's only the one.
Auroral uppercut.
Whee! The animation. Oh my god, you died. You died on your butt. Wait for it. Wait for it. She's gonna get pictoed to death.
Take this and that and one of these. This wasn't how it was supposed to go.
I've a bone to pick with this one.
Wait.
First,
Yeah.
the only way out is forward.
It sure is. Let's go. But he's got her in his. Oh man, he had her in his arms. It was beautiful.
A forest, huh?
Please be Sanctuary of Jeuno music. Music?
Go. We'll look after the girl.
Wait, we aren't too late, are we? What's happening over there? No! I wanted Sanctuary of Jeuno music. Where is it? We're actually in the tree itself, it looks like, because Bark Spot. So Elder Gubus were in the Sanctuary of Jeuno. No, I think there's Elder Gubus in the tree also. I think we're actually in the Boyata tree here. What does it say? Yeah, we're in the Boyata tree. It says it on the side. It's just a very spacious version. All right, so Aquarius is actually one of the most popular notorious bosses in the Boyata tree itself, other than Fafnir. It drops an axe, and it's very, very responsible for this. The 100 fists it's about to use. It's basically just it rips through the tank with 100 fists. It's not gonna do that much here, but the idea is it just hits the tank over and over again. Yeah, so there are robber crabs that people used to level off of, and Aquarius was a mob that could spawn when killing the robber crabs. So groups that were leveling up occasionally had to be very afraid of Aquarius showing up, because if they pulled it, there was a good chance they would die unless they actually used like everything or had like really good gear. Most groups would just avoid it outright.
Match for you.
And Fafnir the Forgotten, they went with. Okay. Interesting about the Forgotten part. So the only mechanics that Fafnir is really known for is Spike Flail. I mean, he has other attacks, Horrid Roar. I did a whole video on Fafnir. So it's the tail. Offensive Posture. Oh, that's Spike Flail, all right. Is this gonna be a point blank? No, it's just gonna be that. Yeah, Spike Flail is his most powerful attack. It's literally an instant wipe if he Spike Flails. I would assume that's out or sides? Out, yeah. So that's actually not an attack he had, but that is an attack that Wyrms in Final Fantasy XI have. So this is gonna be a breath attack. I would not be in line with him right now. Oh, it's a donut. Oh, and it starts burning you so quick. Yeah, so I didn't think he would do that. I mean, it makes sense. The other attack, the other offensive posture wasn't out. The claws? So the fire is disappearing, so you actually need to get to where the fire starts. Okay, so you need to go to where the fire starts and then go out. Get in front of him. That's in front. The tail being raised up, yeah, that's gonna be a really powerful damage over time. Stack up for that, obviously. It's pretty accurately mimicking the fact that he has really, really basic attacks. Fafnir is not known for being very complex. Yeah, just focus on the reses. Tank busters, you can invuln those. That's not an attack. Oh, the darters are here. So darters were ads that would spawn in the room, and you generally avoided fighting them altogether, but obviously we're going to be fighting them here. Pestilent Sphere. Okay. He's swooping around. Hurricane Wing is one of his most popular moves as well. It usually inflicts blind, but they're not going to give us blind here, obviously. All right, so that's in. Watch the AoEs on the ground. And then Horrid Roar. All right, yeah, I should have moved in faster. Oh, God, the tornado. One more Horrid Roar, and then the spreads. Yeah, this version of Fafnir is very well animated. Yeah, see, everyone's dead. All but, like, one healer is dead. Make sure we survive this. In front. That's in front. In front. Oh, we're so dead. Might want to tank LB this. You gotta get I would, well, I mean, I guess, yeah, it makes sense for that person to stand out. Yeah, we're probably gonna, oh no, hold on. Hold on, we're fine. It doesn't do that much. Yeah, make sure the healers all live. If there's a reser on the ground, make sure the resers get rezzed first. All right, Horrid Roar again. Oh, Wing Terror, actually. Oh, I'm assuming that's in. I'm assuming that's in. Yeah, and then probably out for the other attack, yeah. Darters gather in the air, eh? Don't be in front. Group them all up again. Dark Matter, that's a raid wide. Oh, the darters, those the darters exploding? Oh, it's just hitting the tank, never mind. That's just, they're just using a different oh God, they're just using a different animation. All right, we're fine. It's all recovered. This is in, now we know. In, dodge AoEs, in. That burn hurts. And then this will be out. I think it began right like here, didn't it? Oh, is it always just gonna be behind him like that? Okay. I guess wherever's behind him, no matter what, starts going. I thought it was gonna be in like the order, like the same arrangement, but it is. It's relative to the direction he's facing. Yeah, mind you, the tank in B has disconnected twice, so B might regularly just be eating a lot of pain. Hurricane Wing's just a ton of damage. Same deal. All right, I think I can probably start DPSing the boss now. I wanted to see everything take place. I think we're beyond that at this point. Oh, interesting. So now it's from the inside going out. Then there's the spreads. You have to really be watching for those AoEs under you a lot. Absolute Terror is out. Yeah, they did a really good job with the animations for Fafnir here. In front. The spike flail. Do not get flailed. Stack up. Ivy, where are you going? I saw you sprint off. Yeah, there's not much we can do with Alliance B because we're a full pre-made. Oh, Ivy, you're back. Hey, what's going on?
Teleportation magic. Oh, brace yourselves.
We're being taken. To Ruan Gardens we go.
Aye, so where are we now?
All right, they are using the Ruan Garden music. That teleporter's not gonna work, my dude. It's not on. My man is, look at him run, but cool, relax. So one thing that's off about this, and it's not really a big deal, I don't care. The Ruan Gardens is normally touching right. Oh, wait, there's a memo. I'm gonna have to come back through. There's a memo on the ground over there. Exactly where I was pointing to. All right, so these mobs, the sprinklers and the groundskeepers, in the original Ruan Gardens, they spawn in these little alcoves, and they only aggro if you actually get close enough to the alcoves. I wonder if... It's not Faust out here. There's a different one. Faust is inside. I forgot which one is out here. Yeah, I gotta go back and read all the memos after it's done. There is a Faust in the Ruan Gardens, mind you. Despot, yeah. Despot is the one that most people would do out here.
There's something about
This is indeed the actual accurate path on how to get to the Archangels as well. And flamingos do indeed spawn up here. Is that who I think it is? Did they include Despot? They sure did. I figured because Aquarius was here that Despot would probably be here. Oh, that's a pull-in. I figured that they would probably include him here. Panzerfaust. Yeah, no mother globes here. Yeah, so the layout has changed slightly of Sky, but not that much. The big thing is that the center there would be a lot closer to these islands. It's really far away here. And these would not have an animation to them, but I would expect in here for us to have the animation to them. And yes, this is an accurate thing. There is actually also a teleporter here now in modern Final Fantasy XI. And now for Divine Might. In the Layloft Amphitheater, which is where they are fought.
5 of them? This should be interesting.
The Archangels. And this is the Archangel boss thing, which I expected we were going to say. Taru is probably going to just be teleporting all over. General strat is just kill the Taru as quick as possible. So Archangel MR is tethered to me. What does this do? Dueling in a decisive... Oh, that means I have to hit her. Doesn't it? Yeah.
You shall be burned by the rage that controls you.
Wow, the Archangel does have a voice. That's look away and cross AoEs. That AoE is also going to expand, mind you. Yeah. Literally, Delubrum Regine mechanic. And then in.
You shall be consumed.
Archangel TT is incanting a meteor. I guess he had to be silenced there, I'm assuming. I didn't see if he had to be silenced or not.
You shall be twisted by the envy that drives you.
So these lines that they're using are all lines that they say in their actual fights. They just don't have voice acting in Final Fantasy XI. And they're all representative of effectively the cardinal weakness of each of the 5 enlightened races. Save that man! I noticed that a lot of people were ignoring this alliance. Oh, so that is actually his special attack. Oh, God!
Cowardice dismembers.
guillotine? I'm assuming get behind him. Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably get behind him. I saw the white mage dash. Oh, it's multiple hits. Woo! Yeah, Dragonfall. Looked like he did Mekyo into Dragonfall. He does actually have the Samurai 2-hour. He has Mekyo Shisui. Oh, now it's Archangel HM and Archangel EV. Utsu Semi should make it so. Oh, Dominion Slash? That's gonna hurt. Cross Reaping. So he is actually doing Cross Reaping. I think. Oh, touch the things to knock him up. You have to jump. You have to go into the air to stop him, I think. Either that or you're supposed to avoid them altogether. I couldn't tell if you wanted to use those or not. Holy. Yep. She is a paladin, so paladin and a white mage. Oh no, yeah, no, we can't let him do that. No, no, Mitch. That's the ninja 2-hour that makes him explode, and then you all die. No. Yeah, no. He's not. No, we're not. We're not doing that. No. You are not getting to use the ninja 2-hour. Yeah, that literally just blows him up and kills everyone. Right here, I think, is safe the whole time. Rampage is a Final Fantasy XI weapon skill. The Taru teleporting around. Behind! Galka's back. He's using Mekyo into Dragonfall. So this is Alliance A, B, and C. And look, oh no, never mind. He's doing the other Mekyo. He's doing Gecko, Kasha, and all that. Yeah, so this is literally a Delubrum Regine Savage mechanic. And that's, what was that, Fragmentation? That was so that was a skill chain. That was fragmentation, is what's happening there. So by performing multiple weapon skills back to back in Final Fantasy XI, you do a skill chain. So he's making a fragmentation skill chain there that's exploding. Those are, is that one stack? Yes, it is. Okay. Cloud Splitter, that is Archangel MR's special ability, so no surprise there. All right, this is Rampage again. I'll wait till after the second one goes or the third one goes.
Dismembers.
Bam, bam, bam. I'm just watching these fights just to analyze the different bits. That sound effect is also very Final Fantasy XI. And they'll start to fall. Archangel TT normally dies first. Mighty Strikes? Oh, is that what he did before when he did his 2-hour? Oh, yeah, and then he just starts doing that. Dominion Slash, yeah, that's just the raid wide, and then Archangel MR. Archangel MR, not normally the last one to die, but we'll take it.
Well fought. Wuklamat chose her companions well.
Damn right she did. Coat of Aiming. And then we're just in Castles of All, Jesus.
No doubt a warm reception.
This is the Castles of All theme. We won't be hearing it for very long, probably, but...
What? Why only you?
And it's Shadow Lord time. Time for the Shadow Lord boss theme. It's a very different looking interior, but I do quite like it. And then it's gonna kick into Awakening afterwards. There it is. My man, Big.
Come, mortals. Allow me to show you the depths of my hatred and your folly.
You got it, Raugrim. Very menacing version of the throne room. Giga Slash. It looks like it's two 270-degree AoEs. Oh no, one of them is just slightly larger. They weren't even the same size AoEs.
The land trembles before my might.
North, south, east, west. Oh, it expands. And then Giga Slash again. Yeah, Exalines. My man's swinging. I'm just watching. My man's swinging. That's probably just raid wide. Implosion. All right, so that one's gonna get bigger. You don't want to be on that side because the orb in his hand got bigger. Interesting. Oh, interesting. So looking around, I can't tell what city this is. Kind of hard to tell. Yeah, those the spikes are poking on the outside.
Let the fires ride and rage.
The buildings are really tall. It might it's not Jeuno. This might be what's left of Tabnasia even. Like the original Tabnasia, not. No, the buildings in Tabnasia aren't that tall. The side. I mean, honestly, none of the structures look like any of the towns. All the buildings are way too tall to really recognize it. I'd have to like side by side it. Oh God! I was too busy looking on the outside.
The darkness within me shall devour you.
Doesn't really look like Jeuno. Because you can't see the duchy itself. Like you can't see the actual gardens. But it doesn't look like Bastok either, because Bastok doesn't really have tall buildings. Like, that looks like a cathedral more than anything for Sandoria. Like, the really tall ones remind me of Sandoria's cathedrals.
This insult, I will scour it away with your blood.
Oh, that's the omnidirectional thing.
Give up your
I mean, yeah, but there's no elevator. Is that Pandemonium Warden? Oh no, that's his armor. Oh, so this armor is not something we saw in the game for a very long time. This armor is only from the Wings of the Goddess expansion, where we actually got to fight this version of him. Damage delta is increased. Not noticeably, it's not. Yeah, Raugrim being from Bastok would make sense, but it just doesn't look like Bastok. Giga Slash Nightfall. Okay, so there's something else here. Oh, there's a third one. The third one is like in front of him. Yeah, there's the Shadow Lord fighting Wings of the Goddess. This is his armor in that. So they're facing that way. They're facing to his left. Interesting. Lordly Shadow. And then he's doing a Giga Slash himself. Just a regular Giga Slash, right and left, and then he's doing Implosion now. So that's the big orb. And then the other one's doing an Implosion. We're on the it's on the right side again, safe.
Can your vaunted justice withstand the brunt of the deepest rancor and wrath?
My man is just pumping out skills. I like how I'm seeing people leave the stack early. Binding Sigil. Oh. Interesting. All right, I'm gonna do a 3-1 probably. This is proposed 3-1 dodge. Yeah. Binds of Loathing. Unable to execute actions. Oh. The teleports. I was really confused by why those were there. I was like, oh, do the sigils in the middle do anything? They don't. That's just Alliance ABC.
I will not fall. I will keep coming back until the fires of wrath consume me.
Okay. Oh, you know what? Oh, am I gonna make it? Yeah, you want to start here and then do all 4 knockbacks. And then right into a Giga Slash. So it's left first. Left, right, forward, probably. Or left, right, back. One of the two. Left, right, forward. Then that's out. That's out and out again. That's double out. Out of everything. Spreads. A lot of time for this. Oh my god. Y'all died. Hey, y'all died. Shadow spawn. Yeah, so it's on repeat at this point with the shadow spawns. Oh, however, using it on Umbra Slash is brand new. Yeah, just staying close to the middle and doing 2 movements is fine. Except for the fact that there's 2 other Umbra Slashes happening at the same time. And then you go into the very middle, and then it's left, right, forward. It is the final boss. My man never stops swinging.
Kneel before me.
Doom Arc? I think that's an Enrage. I kind of want to see it, but Well, we're gonna see it because most of us weren't DPSing there. Oh, no, it's not. It's not an enrage. Oh, he's just gonna do that over and over again, isn't he? Is he gonna do it again? He's gotta do it again, right? Oh, no, it's just, he just had an attack there. All right, it was just another attack. He did get a damage stack from it though, so it probably like escalates gradually. It's a bleed wide, yeah. And he gets a damage up. So the more of those he does, the stronger he'll get. There's the Vanadil March. This is the login, the original login theme. The Nano Lord. The land probably won't tremble beneath his might. And then the music sheets. Well, I got one of those at least. And I already won a body piece, actually. I won the Archangel body piece. Yeah, really, really high quality across everything. Lot of very, very subtle references. Now, what I need to do is return back out. And check for memos on the ground. So is anyone, so I saw one memo in Ruan Gardens. I'd have to assume I walked by a memo here too. Who's ready for some lore? All right, they won't let me in. This is the goblin location. Let me go in the goblin area. There's 2 in the gardens. Those might be the only 2. Because I don't see any others here. And I didn't see any when we were running through earlier. Yeah, and they don't want you going up there. All right, so it looks like just the lore for here. Or just there's none of the lore on the ground here. Hello, Jeuno. Yeah, I think all of it's going to be in the gardens. I don't think there's any of it anywhere else. Nothing behind us there. By the way, I don't know if you spotted it, but there was a leveling party over here. I don't know if any of you spotted it. There was literally just a group of people going to camp. They were going to a leveling camp on this side when we first came in here. Oh, actually, fun little bit. This ledge here, this tiny ledge is actually a reference. Final Fantasy XI didn't have jumping. So tiny ledges were effectively points of no return. See how like we can't get up this ledge? It's effectively a reference to the fact that you couldn't return over those ledges in Final Fantasy XI. Because you can't jump. There's actually a jump emote now, but it is only an emote and does not function as an actual jump button. Also, I was disappointed there was no Sanctuary of Jita music here. This is just the Boyata tree. It's not the same. Like, it's inside the tree. It's just very large. Boyata tree had no music, so still accurate. All right, so I know where at least 2 of these are. Good old slash jump. All right. So, leather-bound memo number 1. Today, oh my god. Today is the day. I'm finally gonna get those goddamn pants from Byakko. I can feel it. So, in Ruan Gardens, Genbu, Byakko, Suzaku, and Seiryu were all here on the outside. So on these islands, there are teleporters that lead up to them. Kirin is actually in the thing in the middle over there. Byakuo had a leg piece called a Byakuo Haydite. It was probably the single most sought after piece in all of the content, even more so than the loot from Kieran, like the Osode. And it was the best leg piece for many, many years. And the drop rate was not very good. So that is a reference to Byakuo. That's a lot of copium. That's another 11 player being on copium. Big copium. Spoiler, he did not get it. I already mentioned the lore here with these things. This is also a whole nother zone. I believe that's Velugon Palace. Damn it, this path should have led straight to Velugon and Palace. I'm gonna be late at this rate. So this path, okay, so this is a double reference. Behind that door is Velugon and Palace, but the door is invisible. So until you walk up to it, it looks like there's a wall there, but in 11, when you walk up to it, it'll disappear and you can just walk through. So this is effectively a player who thought that this was taking them there, but fell for the fake trick of the fake wall. That's not actually there. The fake door that's not actually there. So that's the reference. Velugon and Palace, just another area here. I don't think that's the entrance you need to use, but you do need to go through Velugon and Palace to get to Byakuo. So that's another tiny reference. And I think the last memo is up top. That's if this is, because the Byakuo entrance is like over there. You have to like travel from the northeast section all the way over here. Through Velugon and Palace. And then you have the final leatherbound memo. I could have sworn I defeated those 5 before. Won't be fighting them again alone, that's for sure. I better get out of here before they see me. Those 5, I mean, generally, I would assume that's the Archangels, but before they see me? That's strange. That's a little weird. I could have sworn I defeated those 5 before. Won't be fighting them again alone. That's for sure. Those 5 again? I mean, because there's a few multiples of 5. There's the 5 gods. There's the 4 cardinal gods in Kieran. There's the Archangels. But better get out of here before they see me? I don't even think... There's just flamingos up here. So that's a... Maybe? Yeah, I think he's just referring to the mobs that we fought. All of which didn't aggro. Flamingos didn't aggro. It's just, that's a little, this one's not like a particular reference. Because this, yeah, it's, well, I mean, it's not even a pack of mobs. Like, I think it's just referring to the small pack of mobs that we fought over here. Which, by the way, you would never fight Despot here. So, you would fight Despot on the main path over there, I believe. I'd have to look to see how they're mirroring it. But yeah, that's where you would fight Despot, over there. See right there? Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's nothing in particular here that you would be afraid of. Like, this exact spot just has flamingos and elementals. Nothing major. And then the last bit is Castles of All. It's kind of unfortunate the Castles of All theme is only there for like 2 seconds. Yeah, he might be referring to the things in the alcoves. No, you didn't have... I mean, I'm talking about specifically up top. Because groundskeepers, the pots, they didn't just aggro... And what they weren't... They were sight, but you effectively had to walk right in front of the alcoves. Maybe, yeah, maybe he's just referring to the alcoves. I would honestly consider the alcoves... They are sight, but they really feel more like proximity. They definitely present more as proximity. Well, no, but we're specifically referring to the groundskeepers where you have to walk near the thing. Yeah, that particular one is a little strange. I don't think it hits any specific note, but not bad. A lot of really funny references there. Hey, Jeuno. The good part of Jeuno. These are all the original locations of the NPCs. I walked around here recently, and they're all in their correct spots. There's a couple missing. Are you all right? Hey, Precious back in her OG outfit now, too. I didn't even notice that when he picked her up earlier. She's merely sleeping. It remains to be seen if she'll give us a fight when she wakes. She stirs. Ah! Two-headed lizard trying to take a bite out of me, huh? Scrawny little thing like you would barely make a snack. Besides, we don't eat people. Her famous "I'm squaring up against you" animation. Sorry, I'm a little on edge. If you've no quarrel with us, we've none with you. We only wish to talk. Can they really be trusted? Should know better than to judge people based on their... Yeah, considering you're an immortal god, basically. You should know better. It's fine. We're an intimidating specimen. I'm Prish, by the way. Nice to meet you. She doesn't remember. There's the Jeuno music. So, before we talk to them, the Orderly Shade. So this is the auction house from Jeuno. Auction house is their market board. It doesn't function exactly the same. It's really more like a bidding kind of thing where effectively items are put up at a minimum price, but the minimum price isn't displayed. So then a player goes up and says, I want to pay this much for this item. Is there any item, is anyone selling it for that price or less? And then they'll just accept whatever bid you put forth if it at least goes over one of the minimums. This NPC allowed you to mail items to your own characters or other people's characters. So should be the case. Auction house, any questions? In the past, great wealth. So they would help mail items, basically. Hume Adventure, this is just a random adventure. City's not at all what it should be. What I wouldn't give for a drink right about now. This NPC, so I've been referring to a quest. Yeah. Okay, so they have the reference here. So this NPC gave you a quest that asked you to go kill a ton of notorious monsters, and it gave you 59,630 gil as a reward. 5963. Gokuro-san, which effectively means you're made to do a lot of work for not a lot of reward. It's basically a meta joke where those numbers sound like that word when put together. And this quest was literally like a joke quest. It's a lot of work for not a lot of reward. He has the dialogue that confirms that. That's an adventurer asking for a teleport. So in Final Fantasy XI's old days, you couldn't get around so easily. So people would purchase teleports from other players. Teleport, May, Dem, and Hollow were the most common ones, but there were other ones as well. Vazel, Altapa, what's the other one I'm forgetting? Jungle, Yotor. Yotor is the other common one. And then eventually retraces and stuff too. So it was pretty common to shout, teleport May, can I have it 1K? And then someone would invite you to party, and they would teleport you after you traded them the money, and then you would go your separate ways. And that was it. Then we have this. Alas, my love. So this, I forgot exactly how this quest goes. This guy's like, I think this guy's in love with somebody. And I think it's the woman. Oh, is this the NPC that's in love with the women from the shop? He's not supposed to be here. I think he's supposed to be outside the shop. So I'd have to double check. But there's a quest in Jeuno where there's a guy in love with, like, there's 3 women running a shop. It is the Hopeless Lover quest, yeah. I thought he was closer to the actual shop. But I think the actual shop is back behind Jeuno, so maybe they couldn't put him there. This is that Gulker, right? Yeah, this is the Gulker that patrols back and forth. People used to follow him when they would AFK. So this is interesting. This goblin's actually kind of a newer addition. So the Peculiar Goblin in Final Fantasy XI is not called the Peculiar Goblin. He just has a goblin name. And he effectively allows you to, yeah, he's a loot box NPC. So every day you log in, you collect something that's called Tally. And you can carry as much as possible. Like I have like 5,900 Tally or something like right now on my character. And he then gives you like, oh, give me 10 Tally and you can open this loot box. 20 Tally, you can open this loot box. Most people would just do the special Tally or trade him specific keys, but he's a loot box NPC, basically. And almost like every item in the game can be gotten if you're lucky enough from him. This is the entrance to the, oh, you can go inside. So I guess I can describe, can I go all the way inside or can I just go to the entrance? Probably just the entrance. Yeah, this looks like it's barred off. So this is actually effectively the black market of Jeuno. The Tenshodo run this place and they're pirates. They run an underground black market. And this person will probably ask for your Tenshodo invite. Neptune Spire is what it's called. Applicants invite our branch, please, will issue membership. So the only way to get into the Tenshodo is to bring a Tenshodo membership invite. And there's 2 ways to get one. One was to find it as a drop somewhere. I can't remember where, but you can get it as a drop out in like the cavern outside of Norg. I think you could find it on one of the Sahagins there. It's been a while. I don't think I ever did it that way. There's a quest for it. Maybe it's the quest. So by joining the Tenshodo, you get an invite to give to somebody else. It effectively refunds. Drop application form. Yeah, like that's how most people get in. Is when you actually get into the Tenshodo, you're given an invite to give to somebody else. But other than that, you have to do a quest or something in order to get the invite. Most people don't bother with the quest. They just buy it because it's not very expensive. I think Tenshodo invites were like 5K or something. When I bought mine, it's cheap as hell. They're very common. But yeah, that's what this is. Oh, and in order to actually join the Tenshodo, there's a hidden dialogue option with this NPC. So you also had to know that there was a secret dialogue option. It's just a blank dialogue that you can click on. And she goes, ah, so you know about that, huh? True story also, Aldo, the leader of the Jeuno branch of the Tenshodo, is the little boy from the opening cinematic that escapes Tavnasia. So another fun little tidbit. Party-looking Dark Knight Samurai Dragoon. So this is a 2-part joke. Number 1, this is a player that's trying to fill a party. The second joke is that they're all DPS. So this dude's gonna be waiting for a while. He doesn't have a tank, doesn't have a healer, it doesn't have a support. Cursed. So, poor guy is probably going to be waiting for a party for a while. Or trying to fill. You know what, though? He could also be saying he could play all those jobs, but I don't think that's the joke. Oh, so this is I hated this quest. So, oh, can we actually talk to the NPC? So there was a quest series called the Tarot Card quest series in Jeuno. And basically an NPC would give you 5 of the same card and you had to go around and trade for the other cards with other players. So it would give you like 5 of the Hermit or 5 of the Fool. And you just have to go around and either buy or trade with other people. It sucked. Quest sucked. Hated that quest. But that's what they were referring to here with the Hermit and the Fool. Then you have, is this the actual NPC that does it? Kuro, yeah, so this is the actual Taro NPC right here. That actually gives you the quest. This diminutive shade, oh, no. So this is the NPC that gives you the quest for the Hermit and the Fool. Which one is this? This quest is tied to the Warp 2 quest. Yeah, so this NPC is part of a different quest series that leads to the Warp quest. In order to obtain the Warp 2 spell, you have to bring them an Ahriman lens and I can't remember the other item. It's an Ahriman lens and a globe orb. That doesn't sound right. Ahriman lens and something else. I don't remember the other item, even though I just reviewed this not too long ago. And then that lets you continue the quest line. So these are all, yeah, all those references. And then there's still a little bit more to look at closer to the entrance to Port and Upper. Oh, also, really quick, token exchange, sheet music exchange. I thought I won one. Oh, I guess I didn't win it. I rolled pretty high, but I guess I just didn't win it. So, Forgotten City, Tabnazian Safehold. That's from Chains of Prometheus. Shadow Lord is Awakening. Depths of the Soul. That might be, I think that's, Battle in the Dungeon are the two boss themes. Tulia is the Ruan Gardens background theme. Battle theme this is the basic battle theme. So these are all different battle and boss themes. Fighters of the Crystals is Archangels. Castles of All is Castles of All Awakening. Oh no, Shadow Lord is this is something else. And then Vanadil March is the after you've beaten the raid one. So yeah, those are all music sheets. Yeah, no Zita because you go right to the Boyata tree. So in this part of Jeuno, a Mithrin adventurer. Hello, what do you have to say? Hey, didn't I? She's from the party. Remember when I said there was a leveling party that was off in the distance? She is one of the members also. Fitting. Very fitting. Yeah, these are Strider boots. It's a pretty solid set of thief gear. Yep. Oh, and yeah, although she's not sub ninja, because that's a misericord, isn't it? Aren't these isn't this a misericord? The dagger? Well, yeah, she's a thief, but I'm saying she's not sub ninja. Generally, you were thief sub ninja, not sub warrior. It could be, yeah, no, I don't think that's a Blau Dolch. Yeah, she's just not sub ninja. Actually, yeah, Blau Dolch, I mean, Blau Dolch is level 72. Yeah, I mean, if she was using Misericord, that would actually be not good. Yeah, that's got to be a Blau. Actually, they're pretty close. Here, let me look at the Misericord again. They're identical, Misericord and Blau Dolch, basically the same model. I think they're slightly different in their coloring, and that's about it. At least looking at the icon itself. Let's check the Hornet Needler. I mean, they're all roughly the same model. Yeah, they're all roughly the exact same model. I don't think it's a Hornet Needle only because you wouldn't be using that. By the time you have a Scorpion Harness, you wouldn't be using that. Unfortunately, they don't let you enter this section. It's just an abyss. Because there is the actual, probably the premier AFK spot in 11 back there. But yeah, that looks to be, unless I can go in there. No, oh, they actually do let me in here. So this, it's funny. This is here for a number of reasons. Those NPCs sell maps. This NPC, I think, is the Adulin starting NPC. But yeah, this is where the Seekers of Adulin expansion begins. That's really what it's known for most now. But you can also purchase basically every map in the game from here. So, welcome to the Chamber of Commerce reassess. Yeah, that's the same dialogue that person had. And I think they also were the start point for Adulin. Magic map. Well, oh no. So this is the Adulin NPC. Good. They actually put it in there. And this is the map NPC. So you bought the magic maps here. Adulin expansion began here. And then this would probably help you with the airship pass then. Which most people didn't bother. If they were getting an airship pass from there, they weren't, like, most people weren't going to buy it anyway. And then Prish. Today's just been full of surprises. Oh, I don't think I spoke to the Elvan adventurer, who's in a Vermilion cloak. Okay, so the Elvan adventurer, you recognize the Vermilion cloak, obviously. The staff, however, means he is almost certainly a white mage. That is a light staff. In the old days of Final Fantasy XI, one of the most popular pieces of equipment were the elemental staffs. Each one of them had a hidden effect that boosted the potency, and I mean hidden meaning it doesn't say it on the item, that boosted the potency of the relative magic. Could be a bard too. I mean, yeah, it could be. And those are actually ascetic slacks, so that makes sense. Those are ascetic slacks, which are white mage slacks. I don't know which boots those are. A black mage effectively needed every staff except for the light staff, unless you wanted it for cures, which you usually did. And pretty much every mage had to have all of them. That's it. So it was 8 inventory slots, just gone, pretty much. Eventually, they added the ability to craft them all together into one, but by then it wasn't even that big a deal. Most people needed all 8, but at the very minimum, each class kind of had certain ones that were higher priority. Black Mage wanted Ice and Thunder the most. They wanted all of them, but Ice and Thunder the most. White Mage wanted the Light Staff the most. Earth Staff also. Earth Staff was probably the other most important one. It had damage reduction on it, so tanks would use it. Handful of things. And then oh no, you couldn't even go in here in the original. And everyone needs a Dark Staff for resting, because it gave you more MP per tick. No, none of them were tough to get. It was all about demand. Earth Staff was usually pretty cheap compared to the other ones, even though it was probably the most important one. There's much of this we don't understand, but what we do understand is the battle is won. For now, at least. What would have otherwise been a struggle proved a decisive victory against the Dawn Servant Shade and the rest of those fiends. That is to say, thank you for your help. Yeah, only the HQ is really expensive. Most of them are like 200 or 300k. Wait, what else do you have to say? Hopefully this girl can give us some answers. It all began with a stone. That's a reference to one of the most important lines in the early story bits. Memoro de la Stona. It all began with a stone. That's literally basically how the story begins. It all began with a stone. What were your names again? Yeah, we did Sphene first. Mr. and Bakuljaja, right? Taru. You are a Taru, right? Aren't you? I'd expect you to be shorter. If you're done with the small talk, would you mind explaining why you attacked us? What in the world are you talking about? Don't play the fool with me. You were spouting nonsense about us being Taurus and nearly killed a man on your rampage. Well, I do recall fighting Taurus not long ago to protect Olmia. Olmia. A friend of hers, you say? That's all well and good, but she was addressing Golur Jaja's shade with that name. The incantations used to summon it are said to be based on much older magic, one capable of clouding people's minds. If our enemy is skilled enough to summon Golur Jaja, it stands to reason such tricks are not beyond them. Meaning young Prishia was likely tricked into believing the shade was this Olmia person. So it was all an illusion then. It's starting to come back to me. There was someone who warned me that a dear friend needed my protection. He was blue like your left head, and he gave me these bizarre weapons. Blue like me? I usually fight with my fists, but I didn't think twice to accept what they gave me. I suppose their magic's to blame. In any case, I hope the real Ulmia hasn't been dragged into all this. Can you tell us about the one you thought was Ulmia? Where they may be hiding, perhaps? Would that I could, but when I got here, I was all by my lonesome. Here being where exactly? Jeuno. At least I think this is Jeuno. There was never anything like that here before. It's mostly empty, but there are a few people lingering about. If you know where to look, maybe they can tell us something. Go with Prish and see what you can learn of this place and its whereabouts of that shade. We will remain here and keep watch of this rift. Ba-bow. Right then, let's have a look around. We should probably stop by the Tenshodo as well. It's in the back of Neptune's Spire, across the way from the fountain. Well, it seems like she wanted to tell us all about that. She's probably going to have some sights to share on top of the NPCs. So we have to talk to all the adventurers. Oh good, I was hoping to run into you two. I don't wish to be overly forward, but why were you speaking with that Mammal Jar earlier? More importantly, what was it doing here? I would never dare venture beyond the shores of Aragia, unless... My gods, has Golur Jaja laid siege to Ottergon? Is Jeuno next to fall? So Ottergon is the expansion the Mammal Jar from in Final Fantasy XI. It's across the water. And you actually had to go to the Tenshodo to get your ship pass in order to get over there as well. I don't know anything about sieges or invasions, but that Mammal Jar over there is a friend of mine. Ain't nothing for you to worry about. The poor man's probably more confused than we are about... The poor man's probably more confused about this than we are. He sure is. All right, this is an auction house thing. This is going to be dialogue about the auction house. Adventurers gather from all corners of the world to buy and sell their spoils here. The taxes are a pain, but it's worth it for the wide selection. Just between you and me, though, I've heard you could cut a good deal with merchants peddling their wares. Okay, so her final line there. I've heard you can cut a good deal with the merchants peddling their wares just outside of town. Players could effectively have their own shops. Any item in their inventory could then be sold in a bazaar. You would examine them, choose to see what they were selling, and then you could buy it for whatever their listed price was. In order to avoid tax or for items that were not eligible to be placed on the auction house, people would stack up just outside of town in order to sell their items. So that's what she's referring to. Depending on your server, lower... So there's Rollenberry Fields, just outside of Lower Jeuno. And then there's the Battaglia Downs, just outside of Upper Jeuno. And then there's... God, I don't even know how to pronounce the other one. I know what it is, but I don't remember how to pronounce it. Soromuse Champagne. I don't know how to fucking pronounce that. It's something like that. I don't know. Depending on your server, people would effectively kind of section them off and do different things with each one. Like some people might sell sky items in one of them, and then some people might be selling like just like basic things like endgame items right outside of in Rollenberry. So it depended. But you would effectively go through those and try to find them. That's what she's referring to by setting stuff up outside. Why is it closed? The auction house never closes. Maybe they're waiting for things to return back to normal around here. Whenever they reopen, I suggest you stop by. Who knows, you may get lucky and find something way below market price. So that last line I mentioned earlier, that the way the auction house worked is people would put things up for mystery amounts, and anyone who bid that amount or higher would purchase it at the price they bid, not at the price. So if you were selling something for, let's say you were selling something for 1,000 gil. Nobody knows you're selling it for 1,000 gil. Let's say the average selling price is 90,000, so they buy it for 90,000. You've avoided, well, you actually won't. Yeah, you'd avoid a great deal of tax on it, and they would still be paying you. They wouldn't give you just 1,000, they'd give you the 90,000. So what people would do is, let's say the average selling price for an item is 90,000. They would put it up for like 8,99999. Nobody can see that they've done that, but it puts their item as a higher priority item than the items that are higher. So people would like try to game the system, like do 80,001 or 80,250, effectively trying to find a price that was below to pay less tax and to sell faster without getting caught. But really clever people would try those lower price points first before trying what the average price was. I would never try an item for 90,000. I would try for 75, then 80, then 80, then 80 and 1, then like 85, then 89,999. Like you never just paid what it said on the board. So you're new to Jeuno, aren't you? I can tell by the way you were taking in the sights. The city was built upon Heaven's Bridge, connecting the two great continents of Quan and Mindatia. Yeah, so Jeuno sits in between the two continents, basically. It was the central hub of the base game. Those are just the name of the continents, basically, that the other city-states are on. Very similar to how Limsa is out on an island. These aren't really, they are islands, but Jeuno connects them. Like the two different continents technically aren't connected by any landmass that isn't Jeuno itself. You'll find there's an upper and lower level, a port, and the administrative plaza of Rulud, all the zones of Jeuno. Yes, I believe he is also wearing the Ares set. We didn't really pay much attention to him earlier. If it's not the Ares set, it's a set that looks very much like the Ares set. That was a popular endgame set in Archangel. It came from the salvage content, if memory serves well enough. And yeah, it was another one of the major sets that people were looking to get. At least you would have before. Always in and out of Lower Jeuno appear to be blocked or cut off. The situation here is worse than I thought. Let's go talk to the Mithrin next. Well, I thought I knew all the Toro who travel through here of late. Where are you from, stranger? Limsa Lominsa? Oh, my starting. I think that's my starting city on this character. I'm pretty sure that I'm with... Yeah. Am I with Limsa Lominsa right now? I'm with Gridania right now. But I thought I started in Ul'dah. It's been a decade. Wait. Oh, no. So this character in 1.0 started in Limsa Lominsa. Now I remember. And you know why I started there? Because the first major leveling spot was close to Limsa Lominsa. And because the opening cutscene in 1.0 was way cooler. Most folks passing through hail from Sandoria, Bastok, or Windust. Considering the present state of Jeuno, though, seems strange as becoming a common occurrence here. I'd be lying if I said I'd heard of your homeland either, but that's not important right now. At times like this, we need to know who can be trusted. I just needed to check my emails real quick. Also, there's a talking spot there. Yeah, she's just gonna wonder why. She might mention there being more bazaars here too. Or maybe, oh, she might mock. So people AFK'd here a lot. And they would AFK here for years. I wonder if that's what the reference is gonna be. Why is this blocked off? There's supposed to be stairs here leading to the residential area. I swear things get strange. Oh. Yeah, so the residential area is the Mog houses. Nothing too fancy there. It also is how you get to the other parts. I don't have access to the Jeuno though, Prish. They won't let me in. Press against the wall, but it refuses to budge. Won't open. I guess we won't be meeting Aldo. I mentioned Aldo earlier, so we already did this. When the world's in danger, he always lends me a hand. Reminds me of a friend, the Scions. Scions sound like a competent lot. Unfortunately, we're on our own here. Whatever's happening here, these people are just as bewildered as we are. We should go back and find Bakul Jaja, see if he's noticed anything. Well, given the digital stuff that was happening earlier, I'm going to assume it's to some degree just emulating this stuff, and none of it's real at all. Returned at last, with answers, I hope. So we're truly in this Jeuno, as she says. But I've traveled all over Tural and never heard of a Jeuno or Sandoria or any of those other places. What in Altana's name is Tural? I thought all you Mamuja are from Aragia. Hi! Prish, you're alright. And she has you to thank, I'm sure. Thanks for caring, I guess. And who are you exactly? He's the one who asked me to go and look for you. I appreciate the concern, but I've never seen him before in my life. How can you say such a thing? I mean, you do look like the sort I might know, but I'm drawing a blank. What was the name, Mr.? My name is... You must be the one they found wounded in the Sky Deep Cenote. Well, we have to call you something. How about Axal? Vagabond in the Mamuja tongue. Though it may be closer to adventure in Mr. Zaosian. Nicely chosen, brother. That does have a rather nice ring to it. As all it is. Ajal. So where are we exactly? Jeuno, or at least a close approximation. Surely you remember this place, don't you? It does feel familiar. What's so special about this place anyway? And where did the damn shade get off to? Ah, none of this makes any sense. He does not look... He's in Wolfgang's armor. He does not look like Wolfgang, who is a Hume. I don't know if it's Roshifog. Oh, no. I don't like the word vexing. I can already hear her voice. But she has to rhyme. Okay, no, it's not. I thought for sure it was going to be Shintoto when I saw the word vexing. I can't believe this guy is still alive. That's the one who put me under the spell. I'm sure of it. I can't believe he's still alive. The Buddha was sycophant yet lives. What are you doing here? Ah, you found me in a generous mood. I thought I might enlighten you as to the nature of this place. That is why you've come, isn't it? Fucking surreal jaw. The young lady is correct. This is the Grand Duchy of Jeuno. So we really are in Jeuno. Yet something feels so off. Yeah, yuck it up. I never said this is the real one. It is an imitation, a rather convincing one, I might add, which I created based on visions of another world. You
built this. That I did. While you and yours were holding the Dawn Servant's coronation, Zorlja and I ventured to the gate of the Golden City. Everything was proceeding as planned. The gate's key was in our possession, the power to reshape the world within our grasp, or so I thought. In the eyes of the resilient son, I was but a useless tool to be cast aside. By all rights, I should have died when he struck me down. But once the chamber was empty, the gate still open. I saw my chance. What I found when I dragged myself across the threshold was an emptiness. Emptiness is actually a major thing in Final Fantasy XI. A space beyond time. It was there in this dark expanse I beheld another world. He's just referring to the space, he's just referring to space between places. The world was, oh god, he's just using, he's using the screenshots! Literally the screenshots from the fucking book! From the book that came with it. I'm not even kidding. Half of those screenshots are literally screenshot for screenshot from the guide manual for the game. Like actually from the physical manual that came with the game. Not the strategy guide, the manual. The fucking like Harry Potter page book thick manual that came with this game to explain everything. What a load of rubbish. As if anyone believe everything and as if anyone would believe that everything and everyone here is little more than one of your toys. Level down. Damn, that's messed up. He's a box. He turned to stone. As I said, everything you see here is of my creation. Much like we fashioned the Phantom of Galul Jaja for the Feet of Brotherhood, I was able to use the ceremonial tools to breathe life into my visions of Vanadil. Under normal circumstances, my conjurings only have strength enough for a brief clash. With that stone, however, my magics are capable of so much more. Isn't that what Zorlja used to build his army? Electrope, he called it. Wow, did you guys know? Did you guys know? I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it. Somebody say it for me. Electrope's potential. Did you know that the potential of Electrope is limitless? Watch and learn! Electrope, you say? There is no limit to Electrope's potential. Electrope has many uses. If you know its name, then I trust you also know these stones are possessed of immense power. Power enough for my creations to persist as long as I please. Fortunate, then, that this world between worlds was filled with structures made from Electrope. More than I could ever hope for. What if everything we see here, everything we believe was Vanadil, it is of your making, then am I? Gods, that would mean I am as well. Yes, well, a trivial thread in the tapestry of my grand designs. And what a wondrous weave it will be, made possible by the endless possibilities gleaned in that Walk of Echoes. Walk of Echoes is a major piece of endgame content from the Wings of the Goddess expansion, and is also the lore canonical location where all versions of Vanadil are connected, of which only one of them is actually not an abyss. And Atamos hovers over the entire thing. The memories buried there, those remnants of echoes, will shape my dreams into reality. I once believed that dreams lay in the resilient sun, but that bastard is dead to me. By my hand, Tural will have the greatest ruler the world has ever known. I've made an admirable start, but my work is far from finished. Very soon I will draw upon the echoes once more to summon the greatest beings of Vanadil, and their strength will be made one with this magnificent shade. The reason and resolve which built the nation of Tuliolol matched with the uncompromising tyranny that commanded the mammal jaw of that world. Really, you're gonna use the mammal jaw? Well, I mean, I guess that pretty much tells us that that Medusa and Gerfurler might also be bosses. I won't let you sully the memories of Vanadil. Fucking smile. That's the spirit. My preparations will take time, of course, but when I'm ready, you can be certain I will call upon you to bear witness to my greatness. Sarilja, wait. No, the adventurer is dead. ... Prish ... Damn it all. Just when I thought things couldn't become more complicated, making sense of Alexandria was trouble enough. But now I have this Vanadil to deal with as well. Can only imagine how Prish and Alzal must be feeling. What do you do when your very existence is called into question? Punch! That's what you do. Try as I might, I can recall nothing of my past to refute Cirilo Jaska. I think this Alzal guy is actually from Vanadil, by the way. Like, not... Because Cirilo Joss seemed kind of confused with this guy. He was just like, you? Huh. It's pretty sure that Alzal is actually from Vanadil. Try as I might, I can recall nothing of my past to refute Cirilo Jaw's claim. Prish, on the other hand, seems to know everything of her past and who she is, yet to be told the memories of your life are not your own. I can only imagine how she must feel. Now is not the time to be disheartened. At least not here, anyway. I wouldn't trust anything made by Cirilo Jaw to be safe for long. Or to remain functional. Let's return to Mamak while we still can. My mother will want to know of what we've seen here. Be pretty surprising if he was Luzoff. He bears resemblance to a few of the Elvan from Sandoria. Yeah, I think he is just a stand-in for the 11 player. That's why because Alzal literally means adventurer. Vagabond, adventurer, like... I think he literally is just a stand-in for an 11 player. But I do think he's real. I don't think he's Electro. Pretty sure. Notorious Monster Slayer. Fitting. There you are. I thought you should be the one to explain what happened out there in Yaktel. Not simply from another territory, but another world entirely. That explains much of the initial confusion between us. My apologies for any trouble I may have caused, and thank you for taking me in. Different worlds, and yet we seem to have so much in common. I cannot help but wonder what it is that links the two together. What indeed? You mistook us for the mammal jaw of your Vanadil when we first met. May I ask what they are like? Nothing at all like you and yours, even if you do bear a striking resemblance. There was a time when all the peoples of Vanadil, the mammal jaw included, knew peace. But a tyrant possessed of a terrible power claimed rulership over mammal jaw and turned them against us, before we realized that we were at war. To be fair, you also treated them like shit. The Archangel Empire did not treat them well at all. That's not an entirely... You're leaving a little bit out. Just a little bit. A tale similar to ours in a way. The rare few of us born with two heads grow to be immensely powerful. That power was used to justify our preeminence over others. But that is not who we are anymore. We can be better than our forebears. We will be better. All of our hard work will be for nothing as Sariel Jah succeeds in seizing the throne. Well, you'll not want for aid in stopping him. I promise you that. Keen to lend a hand, are you? I don't know who I am. I don't need to know who I am to know the right thing to do. My blade is yours. On my honor as an adventurer of Vanadil, we will put an end to Sariel Jah's schemes. If he were here, I'm sure he'd have done the same. I wonder if she's referring to Tenzin or your player character. Based on the... Does it say she for anyone who has a female character? Does anyone know? Because Tenzin... To be fair, Tenzin was kind of a fucking idiot. It said she for me? Okay. Yeah, so it's referring to the player character gender as a reflection of, Vanadil. It's trying to canonize effectively an Azim Shard being there. It is trying to do that, basically. Right then. We can worry about whether or not I'm real another day. I'm not going to stand around and let this Sariel Jah piss all over the memories of my home. So you can count me in too. Don't think you can forget about us. This all started in Yaktel, and we have a duty to keep our forest safe. Sariel Jah's left us without a trail to follow, but it's only a matter of time before he reveals himself to challenge Mister once more. If you're to be ready, I think it prudent the two of you learn more of our world. An excellent idea, brother. We should start with Tuliolal to see our own preparations while we're there. If she would meet us at the dirigible landing, we will see Prishan Alzal to Tuliolal.
Well, so that's the interesting thing. Alzal can't be a stand-in for the player from 11. So 11's a little weird in this regard. The player character isn't the Warrior of Light until basically the end of the game. Like, you are a fucking nobody for 90% of Final Fantasy XI. You're there to, like, make the events happen, but you are otherwise a fucking nobody. They're just like, adventurer to challenge. Let's get him. Like every single cutscene, while all of the other characters effectively play the story out. It's not until the later stories where they start making the player character also, like, important. Realistically, Rhapsodies of Vanadil is the main place where it happens. But essentially, Alzal being an adventurer is not the same as being the player character stand-in. Because the player character stand-in is a Warrior of Light at the end of all of it. Whereas, unless Alzal is a Warrior of Light, but then again, then the whole, like, if he were here, it's implying that Prish's journey, she specifically remembers your character equivalent as if your 14 and 11 character were the same. Yeah, it might be closer to being a stand-in for somebody who played with the player character versus, or just an adventurer. Like, honestly, not much wrong with just being an adventurer. But he does know who Prish is, which is unusual, unless he is actually a character and they're not just using him as a stand-in.
Those balloon-powered airships are really something. I didn't expect the fight to be so smooth. So this is Tuliolal. Before I forget, I couldn't help but notice how much you seem to know about me. Is there anything else you remember? I'm afraid I don't. And as you don't recognize me either, perhaps we weren't acquaintances after all. What I know of you was likely overheard in a tavern somewhere, patrons sharing stories of your famed exploits. I see. Well, I'll leave it at that then. Now, where to begin? Brother, would it not be wise to first apprise the Landsguard of what's happened? Or would you prefer another stern lecture from the Vow of Reason? I'd sooner rip off our tail. Fine. Could you keep them occupied while we see to the Landsguard? Maybe take them to eat. Let's go get tacos! Take them to Aunt Till's to sample her tacos. Here, for that first meals of yours. Ah, he's paying for the tacos! We're not expecting to earn your forgiveness. No amount of good deeds will ever undo our past. But there's always time to build a better future.
He's paying for our tacos.
When you get there, tell her we sent you. She'll see they're taken care of. Aunt Till's tacos, eh? Let me guess. They serve tacos.
I can hardly wait. So, actually, it's really fitting that tacos are the thing. Because Tavnasia, where Prish is from, is known for taco. In fact, one of the most popular endgame foods were called Tavnasian tacos. They were a tank food, yep. So, of all the foods she would know, this one makes the most sense. I ate tacos all the time back home is what that's a reference to. Today is also Tuesday, so it's fitting.
So I suppose it wouldn't hurt to take a more scenic route. Maybe something along the way will help jog Alzol's memory.
I'm gonna get to milk Final Fantasy XI content for so long, this expansion. I have a whole extra MMO worth of content to milk. I'm gonna be eating good. I'm gonna be eating tacos. Alpacas?
Those creatures remind me of the chocobos of Vanadil. To say we adventurers found them indispensable would be no exaggeration. From shore to shore, they were our faithful companions wheresoever the roads might lead us.
But you couldn't take them into dungeons.
What in Altana's name is that? Do people actually ride those things? Chocobos are the only beast I've ever seen used for riding in Vanadil.
Well, not anymore. Now we ride all sorts of stuff in Vanadil, Presh.
If they have any, I'd sure like to see them.
Yeah, so in Final Fantasy XI, you mostly rented chocobos. There was eventually the ability to raise a chocobo and use a whistle, but I'm going to blow your mind. You could only use it once a day. Was it once a day for the chocobo whistle? I think it was once a day. So you couldn't use it as a mount, like a reliable mount. And also, unless you raised it properly, it was slower. Like, you had to actually give it the right stats to make it faster than the rented chocobos.
Cannot say why, but I remembered something looking out at this.
Oh god, he's reminiscing of Valkyrie Dunes! No! So Valkyrie Dunes is one of the first major leveling areas everyone goes to at level 10. And there's just horror stories out the wazoo when it comes to that. The Emperor of Onimos is actually a reference to the Valkyr Emperor in Eureka. Because he was the most important notorious monster there. There was a man out on the docks who claimed he could teach me a new battle art, but he would only agree on the condition if I retreat. Oh, God, okay. God, they are going so meta with this. So, he's talking about the sub-job quests. In Final Fantasy XI, when you start the game, you have a main job. Upon doing a side quest at level 18, you could get a sub-job, and then you could benefit from both jobs. The quest in Valkyrim Dunes required, as this NPC lists, a damselfly worm, which dropped from damselflies, an apron, which dropped from crabs, and a magic skull, which dropped from the skeletons of the area. I don't suppose you met anyone on your travels who's made such queer requests. Not in this, not here, no. My home is surrounded by an ocean too, you know. It has the most beautiful views on a clear day. Not without the occasional monster, though. It's nice being able to walk around like this without your guard up all the time. She's just referring to Tavnasia. Tavnasia was isolated from the rest of the mainland when orcs, I'm not even kidding, orcs set off a WMD and blew off the landmass that connected it to the mainland. I'm not kidding. They literally nuked Tavnasia. I've happened to spy a few goblins on the way to the market. I remember them living in the major cities of Vanadil as well. Of course, there was no shortage of unscrupulous sorts living in the wilds. They would gather in droves and give chase to adventurers, forcing anyone and everyone to retreat back to the safety of town. So in the oldest days of Final Fantasy XI, when a monster aggroed you, it very often did not stop chasing you. It didn't have they don't have leash ranges. So most people, if they aggroed something that they didn't want to fight, they had to run all the way to the next zone, whether that be a town or just another combat area. In the earliest days, those monsters that were dragged to the zone line would walk back to their spawn place, meaning any other player who walked by them would aggro them and then have to do the same thing. So he's referring to goblin trains, which was the most common type of train that you would actually see. It'd be just a wall of goblins like running at the zone. So that's what he's referring to right there. So there are markets in Tuliyola. There are so many stands, I wouldn't know where to begin. It's enough to make my head spin. Some fruit would sure hit the spot, but no, Prish, remember, you're about to eat tacos. Yeah, it's funny because all Zal is the adventurer stand-in. He has all the memories of things adventurers would say. I understand now when they're talking about memes that they put in. I understand what they mean now. Because they actually actively said that they put in memes from Final Fantasy XI. And they did. This is the place, right? I can smell the savory meats already. And you must be on till. Bakujaja recommended we sample your tacos. So have 3 of your finest, please. Bakujaja sent you, did he? Take a seat and I'll be right over with a tray of our world-famous fares. Wait, where's the... Oh, I'm stupid. Tacos, at long last. How I've waited for this moment. I thought nothing could match the rich flavor of our tacos back home, but the spicy seasoning of this meat is something else. This meal's on Bakul Cha-Cha, so don't hold back. Prisha's taken the lead, but we won't be outdone, surely. Taco eating contest. Eat the taco. Eat the taco. Eat the taco.
Phew, I couldn't eat another bite. Thanks for treating us. It was almost like a taste of home. Tavnasia. Seeing as we still have a little extra time, care to hear more about Vanadil?
Hey, more screenshots from the booklet. I'm not kidding. They're from. Oh, you know where else these show up? When you're installing an expansion, these screenshots show up during the install. That's the other place that they show up. It's in the booklets and on the install screen. Now I remember.
20 years ago, the land was gripped by a terrible conflict. The Crystal War, they called it. It wasn't long before my home, Tavnasia, was drawn into the struggle. During their assault on the peninsula, the beastmen launched a weapon so powerful, it sundered the land connecting us to the mainland. Those who survived fled to the Tavnasian safehold.
So she says they fled. Prish led people to the safehold through the Fomiuna aqueducts. So they didn't just flee. Prish was among the people who genuinely guided them all there.
It wasn't much, but we were able to piece together a modest living down there in those caves. Sorry, I'm spoiling the mood, aren't I? You're an adventurer too, aren't you? Have any tales of daring you can share with us?
All right, let me just give you a whole synopsis of everything up to Endwalker. What, you mean she was just a giant bird? Yeah, man, look, and then she was flying all over the place.
Traveling to other worlds and saving this one from the very embodiment.
She was telling him about the bird, see?
Wait, really? You're not just an adventurer, you're a goddamn living legend? A hero. A living legend. Sorry for the wait. There was much to apprise the Landsguard of, as you well know. That Saril Jah was behind the stolen relics and the sightings of Galur Jah was understandably difficult for them to hear. And yet there are others enticed by the rumors of a strange portal in the woods. I've heard some foolhardy treasure seekers have gone off looking for it. A dangerous thought, knowing Saril Jah could show up at any time with more of those echoes. Which is why I'm going back to Jeuno to make sure our people stay out of there. If you're going, then so are we. Beats sitting around waiting.
Maybe we should bring Wuklamot and that friend of yours. Kryl, was it?
Fairly sure I've had Tavnasian tacos before. They were famous for their heartiness and helped stave off fatigue. Perfect for those who found...
Say, Tavnasian tacos. They were a tank food and he's a tank.
God, those tacos are bloody brilliant. Nothing better than good food and some good company to pass the time.
Alright.
Would that we had more time to show you more of Tuliyollal, but we can't afford to have anyone wandering about in Jeuno. Then let us make for haste to Yaktel.
Oh! What a time. Man, if only there were 4 Aetherites in Yaktel. Like, there's 4 Aetherites in Kozamauka. Don't mind me. I'll fly there. 4 teleports in Kozamauka. How to get the flying scroll mount? A lot of fates. I can only speak for myself, but the idea of running headlong through a mysterious rift to God knows where in search of treasure seems absurd. Tyrol has no shortage of legends like the City of Gold to inspire would-be treasure seekers. No risk is too great if they believe their dreams can be realized. Efforts better spent on a more honest living, I'd say. Walking the noble path like you, brother? In any case, whoever we find in there, we have to get them out quickly. That implying I have the raptor mount. Like, I would waste my money on that thing. What if one of those weird shadow things decides to gobble you up? I realize how preposterous it seems, but none of this is real. A mammal Jah by the name Surreal Jah created this place. Yeah, what are you gonna do? We don't mean to threaten you, but you need to leave at once. This place is more dangerous than it looks. You're not real. I know. Never seen a city like this in Tyrell before. Dangerous, you say? Perhaps I should hold off on surveying further then. What a shame. I happened upon a rather curious stone. No! Without knowing the value of that stone, I can't say it's worth giving chase. Oh no, he would have said, but he ran off to the south if you mean to go after him. I'll be leaving now. If it's truly as dangerous as you say, I hope you'll be leaving soon as well. Do not let them leave with the electrope. When I jumped through that rift, I expected a dungeon, or maybe a labyrinth. Not whatever all this is. It's dangerous, and I need to leave. Don't make me laugh. Not long ago, I heard someone crowing in the streets about some rare stone they found. Something like that could be worth a fortune. Not going anywhere if there's riches just lying around for the taking. No, I don't care how many uses Electrope has. Leave me alone. You came looking for some fancy trinkets too. Well, feast your eyes on this. Improvements, Fealtus. Improvements! We spoke with anyone who would listen, though a few were too stubborn to heed our warning. A block of raw electrope. But how? I take it you're the one that found this. I'm sorry, but we can't let you leave with that stone. It's too dangerous. You expect me to just hand it over? But this isn't Tuliolo. You have no authority here. I found it and I'm keeping it. This is for your own good. Put down the stone and walk away. Or else. Careful, brother.
Lay a hand on him and the vowed resolve will never let us hear the end of it. We're already in her debt as it is. You come here to make your fortune, then let me pay you for it. That would certainly save me the trouble of finding a suitable buyer, but don't expect me to let it go for cheap. You couldn't help but overhear you selling an artifact found in these ruins. If the gentleman's willing to pay, I assure you I can pay more. Great, just what we needed. What do you suppose we do now? Explaining the circumstances surrounding this place will likely take more time than we can afford.
The auction house.
Of course. Why not hold an auction for the stone? An auction? That would certainly simplify the matter. It would save you the trouble of bargaining with all the interested parties separately and incentivize them to pay you handsomely, lest they be outbid. Fine by me, but I'll only be accepting payments at Gil. This money will be taking me overseas so I can finally live the life I've always wanted. The stone will be mine. The following event cannot be skipped. Okay. If I may have your opening bids. Can you handle the bidding? We don't have much experience with auctions, but we do have coin you can use. Around 1 million gil saved up from our work with the Lance Guard. Hopefully that will be enough. Upon speaking with the Jeuno and Filcher, the auction will begin. You may also speak with the other prospective buyers to receive hints regarding their potential bids. Better to be conservative with your bids, staying ahead of the competition. No time for the back and forth. All I need is one bid to win that stone. So she's only going to bid once, so I have to bid higher than her. What about you? Foreign merchants relieved me of my stock a few moons past, and it's a good thing they did. 1,500,000 gil. And I was forced to spend half of it. All right, so 750,000. So I'll be spending at least 750, and she'll only bid a single time. So I need to bid more than her and more than 750,000. Wish I had money to join in. Seems like fun. I won't need to spend all of it. 75, yeah, 750,001. Oh. I thought I was saying no to let them go first. How much will you start with? 100,000. 400,000. All right, so that's her only bid. Is 560,000. $720,000. Someone's reaching their limit. 730,000. There you go. Look, you have a knack for business dealings. Maybe you were a merchant in another life. Stone is all yours. Thank you. Look, you still get to keep 270,000 gil, man. You're good. Sure would have made a mess of things if that were me. I tend to get a little carried away under pressure. It was more expensive than I would have liked, but nothing a few hunt bills can't make up for. I hope. Well done, friend. Now let's have a look at that electrope.
Its potential is limitless.
This presence, it feels familiar. The Shadow Lord.
Oh, that's his electrope that he left behind. Castles of all theme.
There's no mistaking that deep and bitter malice. This stone must have served as the heart of the Shadow Lord's echo. He was a being of pure hatred, responsible for bringing about the Crystal War. I was part of the company that would eventually bring a reign to his terror, to an end.
Yeah, so he's a member of the main party. That's what he is. He's a member of the party that the Warrior of Light was in. Because he's not part of the actual Hydra Corps or part of the initial, like the 20 years ago. He's part of the one with the player.
Meaning Alzal would have been there with him, but I don't remember ever hearing about that. In any case, I will hold on to the electrope. We should hurry back and speak with the Landsguard.
There is for Castles of All, yeah. There's one for every one of the themes.
Excuse me, but were you speaking of the Shadow Lord just now? If there's more you wish to know, perhaps I can be of help. I've heard a great many tales of the fiend from the bards who frequent the taverns here in Jeuno. I've been waiting over yonder near the fountain for my companions to arrive, but you're welcome to speak with me until they do. A most welcome offer, though there is much to be said for a first-hand encounter with the echo in question. Perhaps we can revisit these tales another time, as we made certain no more treasure hunters could readily gain entry. Let's return to Tuliola and speak with the Landsguard. Mister, come and meet us at Bright Plume Post.
They're in maps, Darksider. Yeah, so whatever he said, I'm ignoring. I'm talking to him.
If there's any burning questions about this place or anything else in Vanadil, I should be happy. No, I'm happy.
Tell me about yourself.
I'm no adventurer in particular renown, if that's what you were expecting. Just a man come from Bastok looking for the more of the world. While I lack in fame, I make up for in strength of numbers. I've no shortage of friends willing to accompany me in the pursuit of riches should I reach out via Link Pearl. The armor I wear is proof of our accomplishments, salvaged from the depths. So I mentioned earlier, this is the Ares armor set, and it is from salvage in the Ottergon expansion. I treasure my time with them more than any trinket or bauble we've unearthed on our travels together. You understand, surely?
Tell me about Fafnir. I made videos on all this stuff.
The great dragon that slumbers in the depths of the Boyada tree? I know of it, as does anyone who would dare venture into Jita. Stories of a great hero who did battle with a dragon, their harrowing encounter concluding with a strike at its heart with the fabled blade Riddle. Riddle was one of Fafnir's drops. I mentioned this in the video. It was probably the most coveted drop at the time in terms of endgame, other than the defending ring from King Behemoth. And it hit it could occasionally attack 2 to 3 times. If only they hadn't missed their mark. The blade is said to remain nestled in the beast's bosom even to this day. To survive such a blow and live for all these years bespeaks a strength I struggle to imagine.
Yeah, and then Nidhogg would show up occasionally.
And yet the tales of its might have not deterred the brave and foolhardy from venturing in the tree, hopeful they can slay Fafnir and claim its spoils. Few have reached the dragon's area and lived to tell of it.
Archangels.
I've heard stories of the 5 warriors clad in black. If the fates are kind, I will never have the poor fortune to cross.
So this guy hasn't... Wait, so this guy did salvage and he hasn't even finished the Xylart story? Come on now. I refuse to believe that. I can't imagine anyone doing salvage without having at least unlocked Sky.
They were not born, but forged from crystal, assuming the legends are true. The Dawn Goddess, Altana, wept 5 tears that gave birth to the 5 races: Hume, Elvon, Tarutar, Mithra, and Galka. The Archangels are said to be the embodiment of their sins. Hey, that's what I said in my video!
Also known as the Crystal Warriors. Apathy, arrogance, cowardice, envy, rage, the darkness that lurks within us all.
No one is certain why they were created. The prevailing theory is they served as guardians of some ancient paradise.
And the Shadow Lord. I already know what he's going to say about the Shadow Lord.
The great darkness of the Northlands, hatred made manifest. There's not a soul in all of Vanadil who doesn't know the Shadow Lord. His sole desire was to bring about the extinction of Altana's children, so he rallied against the Beastmen, inciting what came to be known as the Crystal War. The Beastmen's assaults were merciless, and it was not long before Bastok, Sandori, and Windows were brought to their knees. It was only after the Archduke Kamlanok convinced them to join forces with the Grand Duchy of Jeuno that they gained the momentum needed to push back. United as the Alliance of Altana, they would eventually drive the Beastmen back from their lands, and soon found themselves going on the offensive in Zarkabad. The Alliance proved victorious in the end, but not without a great many sacrifices. Peace had been restored to Vanadil, for a time at least. The Shadow Lord was somehow resurrected 20 years later. Thankfully, he was slain before the Beastmen could be emboldened to take arms a second time. There's much speculation as to his origins. Most believe he was once a Galka, if you can believe it. He was betrayed by one of his companions, mortally wounded and left to die. A dear friend of his was also said to have been cut down in the altercation. He succumbed to his wounds, but his rage and despair would remain, giving life to the Shadow Lord. If what you say is true, and he has returned once more, perhaps the flames of his hatred can never be truly extinguished.
And that's all of them? Okay. What if the other adventurers will have the other things later? And if you would like to learn more about all of those things, I made videos on all of those things. Please go watch them. Well, to be fair, if that guy hasn't... So, oh, wait. So that guy hasn't even done the base story? But he's doing salvage? He didn't do the Magicite quest that explains all this? Well, the good news is that means that you can experience it for the first time. My man went straight to endgame. My man was like, you know what? I don't need the airship pass. Rank 4 is enough. Wait, he's from Bastok. How does he die? Never mind. Once again, we're left with nothing but time on our hands until Surreal Jaw shows himself. Suppose there's no shortage of work to be done if we ask the land's god.
You may be better served exploring Tyrol, familiarizing yourself with the land. It wouldn't do to find yourselves lost when you're needed most.
An honest-to-God's adventure. What a great idea. I'm pretty sure she asked to go on an adventure after Chains of Promethea was... Like, after, not after Chains was done. I think actually after Rhapsodies is done, she brings it up.
You're coming with me, Alzal, and don't you dare say you're not interested. Any self-respecting adventurer would jump at a chance like this. I'll not deny the suggestion piques my interest. We warn you now, though. The wilds of Tyrol are rife with danger. It is no place for the unprepared.
Yeah, he bought his airship pass. That's how. I welcome the challenge.
I can hardly count the number of times Vanadil's been visited by some world-ending calamity, but no matter how dire things may have seemed, we always found a way through. Together. This will be no different, I'm sure of it. There's nothing we can't do so long as we have each other. Band of adventurers barely met, united in the face of a great peril, just like old times. The adventurer is always so sentimental. Is that so terrible a thing? Here he is. The moment we learn anything about Sariel Jah's movements, I've asked him to contact you. So this is where the next quest begins. Got it. So if they're seemingly exploring Tyrol, can we find them around the map? Can we find Prish and Alzal around the map like we could with Alpha and Omega? I found them, so yes, apparently is the answer. Yes, you can. Meanwhile, in the Echo of Tul... Oh, it's going to be Camlanot. Ugh. Going back here means it's Camlanot and Ealdnark. Almost certainly. Soon we will slaughter them all. Is that not so, Sariel Jah? Soon, my dawn servant, very soon. Then there shall be none to stop you from taking your rightful place on the throne. Alright, maybe not. Maybe they just wanted to use this as a background because it's a nice looking place. How fortunate that he lacks the wisdom of the true dawn servant. But if he will be made fit to rule, I must choose from the echoes carefully. The Shadow Lord showed promise, but Vanadil is a land of rich history. I needn't settle for those who are but the blink of an eye in the annals of history. With the strength of the ancients, I will bring Tyrol, no, the whole world to its knees. The strength of the ancients. So the Xylart would have been our ancients, but so were the Kulu. And all of that can be tied to Xylart or chains. So it's not entirely clear which one he's talking about there. I feel like while the Xylart brothers would make a lot of sense, I also feel like it's better set up to be chains. I mean, I expected they would probably do chains last. If not make Altana outright last. Yeah. They have the Archangel set that was in all the patch notes and the live letters. I actually got the body piece. There we go. Such a long run. Let's see if I see them out here too. Yeah, here they are. I wonder if you can find them in like Urkopacha and stuff. I've always loved a good ocean view. So there's one of the spots they are. Look at that reef. The fishing must be sublime. I could only ever catch coos back home. It would be fun to give it a try. Not the coos. Anything but the coos. I don't want to catch any more coos.
Coups were used for a side quest in order to make Bubbly Bernie appear. I'm gonna go check, No, not the moat carp. That's the other popular fish. That's the most popular fish. Yeah, I wonder if you can find them anywhere else. Happy Patch Day. It'd be fun if I could find them in like Urkapacha. At the very least, that's one spot where we know they are. Man, I was really hoping they'd be out here with the alpacas. More alpacas. Yeah, they also might not be in actual towns. They could be like up on ledges and stuff like that. If they even appear in more places. We don't know if they appear in more places. I think it would be a good touch. The Alpha and Omega thing is pretty well received. So I would kind of be surprised if they weren't spotted in some other locations. Them coming back to Mammoth. I feel like instead of coming back to Mammoth and exploring, they would sooner go someplace like Kozamauka. But Urkapacha, oh, you know what, actually? Warlord's Echo would make a lot of sense because trolls are from Final Fantasy XI. They're just called trolls in Final Fantasy XI. So they would probably be equally as confused. If they're anywhere else, this is a pretty reasonable spot to expect them. But again, I'm sure if there are more than one location for them, that it'll get spotted and put on whatever. We'll put on Reddit. Definitely interesting. Yeah, they did a pretty good job with the lore dumps. I'm glad that I've been doing lore dumps, but it's a good thing they also are doing lore dumps. Because I gave like a far more detailed, they gave the Cliff Notes version, which honestly is all you need. It means that if someone were to start playing, they would only have that basic amount of information. But yeah, I'll be curious to see if they actually are in more than just the one location. Hopefully everyone enjoyed story time, because that was a hell of a story time. The X was good. We're giving all the dumps. Yes. Well, I mean, Myths actually started in a pretty similarly strong level. Like, again, did a lot of like walking around with them and everything, but there's a lot more history to pull from here. So the Final Fantasy XI raid has what I like to call brownie points, where by doing nothing special at all in terms of like world building, just with references, it's like a baseline appeal that is not necessarily indicative of a higher or lower quality. Does that make sense? Right? Because you can easily do something to make an 11 player, oh my God, I remember the thing. And then they'll be like, this is the greatest thing ever. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I don't see as a first tier that it's like a substantial improvement over Aglaya, because Aglaya was the strongest point in all of Myths of the Realm. I don't know how many people actually remember Aglaya's like release in the quest, but that was by far the strongest that the entirety of Myths of the Realm was. In terms of like overall involvement, like just getting you introduced to everything was more interesting than what it ended up being. They just took a lot of time here to make sure that there were references. There were just references everywhere. Like that's really the main thing they went out of their way to do, I think. There's nothing wrong with that. I think that for something like Final Fantasy XI, you kind of have to do that. Yeah, Myths got less interesting the more that got revealed. And also there are several like parts about it that people didn't feel evenly represented. anyone who had their deity be one of the final 4 liked it less. For anyone who cared about their deity, they liked it less. Because you effectively just didn't get time with the last several deities. They just decided, we don't need to do that. So it's just kind of strange to do it that way. Like, obviously, Ashan is still around, so, you know, he's a bit of a different story. But they didn't do as much with each of the deities as they could have done, whether that be going around with them. And this is why, when it comes to 24-mans, listen, I hate saying this, but the Near Raid got it right. Put quests in between the major patches where the Alliance raids are done in order to flesh out what's happening without needing to commit making entire raids. Like, that is an actual high point of what the Near Raids did. I think Myths could have heavily benefited from that. Like, imagine if in 7.4, while doing Myths of the Realm, that's when you got to do the walk around with the gods that were featured in the final tier. That just makes sense, right? Like, if you're gonna have them be the bosses in the next one, give them an opportunity to be, you know, give them an opportunity. It's to the south. Give them an opportunity to be walked around with. I'll give more, you know, opportunities for people invested in the lore. I know there's some complaint about adding quests because then there's more quests people have to do to unlock the raid if they didn't do them before. But honestly, at this point, with the way Final Fantasy XIV has always been handled, that seems like it should be a non-thought. Like, it shouldn't even be a consideration about what's the right decision and what's the wrong decision. And if anything, you can just make them side quests. Who cares, right? As far as I'm concerned, who really cares? You know? You might as well just let it be a thing. You know? I don't know. That's just how I feel. So I would like if they did that with this. I bet they won't. But I would like it if they did. I think it's just better. Like, being able to, like, join Prish and Alzal for their adventures around Tyrol and the in-between patches, so they can use that as opportunities to, like, cross-lore. So I actually only have about 40 minutes, so I should probably get something to eat soon. I'm going to be on the Square Enix main stream at 11 a.m., and obviously they're going to need me for setup before then. Yeah, we're going to be doing Dragon Quest 3 stuff. We're going to be checking out Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D Remake and doing some giveaways to boot. No, I don't have time for a second run. This entire quest took a lot longer than I thought it was going to take.